I'd rather see
Dope,
that than Birdman, but it's
dope,
cool.
dope. Definitely. Is it Jalen versus everybody? I guess.
Maybe.
Yeah. Okay. Well, anyway, let's play the clip of what Birdman said.
Hip hop 50, right? But I still say that they don't compliment the South enough for me.
I agree.
And I don't respect that shit about what they doing in hip hop. And I never will respect it because the South, I ain't gonna just say us, I'm gonna say the South. We paid a big wave of keeping hip hop alive.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think they compliment us enough. And I always was told what a nigga don't give us, we gonna get it anyway. So, but I don't respect it at all.
Interesting. The interesting part, I think, for me, and I'm gonna let you go in,
Yeah, you did.
where he kind of just said that, you know, they're not complimenting us enough about it, and we kept hip hop alive. That's kind of interesting. But go ahead, give your thoughts on it,
I
though,
think it's
man.
bullshit.
Yeah.
I think it's bullshit, and not what he's saying, right? Because let's keep it real. And we've talked about this, and so many other platforms have talked about this. That's why I think it's bullshit. Since 2000, who was ran and had the torch with hip hop? The South.
Yeah.
And we've talked about that. We've openly admitted that. You know what I mean? There was a time where East Coast and West Coast looked at the South and it was like, man, who are these people? Who are these country motherfuckers? What they doing?
Yeah.
And then eventually, everybody adapted their style.
Yeah.
Everybody adapted how they walked, they talked, they wore their clothes, how they rapped, their cadences, how they even moved down there.
Yeah.
Houston, New Orleans, Atlanta.
Yeah.
Not too much New Orleans because of what happened with Katrina, but a lot of people, they down there, right?
Right.
So I think this comment and you know what? Even though I don't agree with it, I'm not mad at it because maybe he still has a chip on his shoulder as a competitor, thinking that he doesn't get enough respect that they deserve. But to say that the South isn't getting respected or isn't known as keeping hip hop alive is
You
crazy.
think they kept hip hop alive, or did it just was it going to die? My question is, was hip hop going to die if it never moved to the South?
No,
No, I don't think so.
and if it kept it alive. See, and you have to be careful on what you say. It kept it alive because if it's alive, where is it at right now? See, a lot of it, if you want to take credit for keeping it alive now, you got to take a lot of blame on where it's at. And I don't give the South the blame for where hip hop's at, but hip hop is absolute fucking garbage right now.
Yeah.
Let's just hold it for what it is.
Yeah.
When you got Mos Def debating on whether or not Drake is even hip hop, because Drake has been the dominant artist, and don't get me wrong, I think Drake is hip hop, even though it's different. Where's hip hop gone? Where's it's been?
Yeah.
I blame a lot of the East Coast rappers for where hip hop's gone. I blame a lot of the backpack rappers for where hip hop's gone.
Oh, yeah.
I blame a lot of the South because the essence of real hip hop and it's keeping the culture real to where you are died because everybody started copying each other and mimicking each other, and then the lyrics got dumbed down, and now we're just talking about killing each other. And now ops rhymes better than most lyrics in hip hop. So
And you got people like Ice Spice.
you know what I'm saying? So I disagree with his sentiment.
Right.
The South definitely has its major part in hip hop and took over and has done its thing and is the dominating sector when it comes to hip hop still. But if you want to say that you want more credit for where it's at, I don't know if you want that, my guy.
Yeah. This is it's tough because, like you said, the last 23, 25 years has been nothing but the South. And I can remember even Fat Joe saying, he said around like, well, everybody mad at the South for switch your game up, Southpaw, something like that. And he was kind of the first people that kind of, from my knowledge, it could have been somebody else who kind of was like, all right, let's go rock with the kind of the South. Because like you said, people wasn't really, even though you had Jay-Z with Pimp C and Bun B, you had different collaborations. For the most part, it was kind of like a taboo thing. Like they was down there, we was up here. Our perception was these some country bumpkin slow rappers. And I think no disrespect, I just think it's because what we was exposed to. We're exposed to Biggie, Jay-Z, the Big Puns and the Maces and things like that coming up. We ain't really we wasn't really exposed, to that. Now the further you go, like maybe like DC, Maryland, they start kind of, dabbling. Not to say that nobody up north didn't listen, but for the most part,
Yeah.
that wasn't in our 50 Cent. We listening to 50 and shit like that. So I just think it was ignorance on our behalf because I wasn't going and listening to the masterpiece too much. I ain't really like the Hot Boys. I kind of hated on them. I ain't gonna lie. Back then, even though they was great, I kind of was like, what the hell is this shit? But it grew on me after a while. Then I was able to, recognize them, especially Lil Wayne, as being a great, probably one of the greatest rappers of all time. But I think that the North has saluted the South, right? And I think the biggest salute is these niggas started copying y'all.
Exactly.
That's like the biggest salute.
Yeah.
You don't really hear nobody like saying, "Oh, F the South." Nah, the South is hip hop now, right? That's what it is, and I don't ever think it's gonna leave the South.
Nah.
I think it's there permanently. Now it may jump around. It might have different influences. Like Memphis was hot at the time, Houston, Atlanta, St. Louis, whatever. Like these different areas. I think as these keeps going around, I don't see it coming back to New York ever. Like New York being a dominant because they adapted. Now I think it kind of morphed into something different, hip hop, something totally different. I don't know. I can't say that I necessarily like it, but I think it morphed into something totally different. And like the hip hop that we become accustomed to, people now think it's corny.
Yeah.
In my opinion, even though I love it, but I've been one to adapt with change.
Yeah.
I like 21 Savage. Yeah. I like Little Baby. I like Da Baby. I like Pooh Shiesty. I'm able to adapt to change and say, okay, this is something new. Don't mean I ain't gonna listen to my old heads that I listen to my Big Puns, my Jay-Z's and shit like that. But I can adapt and go around and say, okay, this is dope too.
What I miss is the sound, the unique sounds of different areas. Like you can go and listen to the East Coast sound of music and get that sound from the streets and get the sound from the culture of the East Coast and feel it. Now it feels like we doing drill and it's almost like a Chicago-based type adaptation of what we're doing. And there's no Midwest sound anymore. There's no South sound. There's no West Coast sound.
Right.
There's no East Coast sound anymore.
Yeah.
Everybody just wants to do the same shit. And it kind of just makes you look at hip-hop kind of crazy. When you look at an Ice Spice and she's the queen of New York right now, that shit is laughable. And no one's named her the queen of New York, but when you look at how she's pushed.
I mean, you can say that, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, right now, she is the queen of New York, and I think that is absolutely ridiculous because that's porn rap, elementary school porn rap, and it's absolutely disgusting, man. And
shout out to Nicki.
Shout out to Nicki, bro.
Great body of work she put out. She took a shot at Meg Thee Stallion today, too.
Meg Thee Stallion took one first.
Oh, she took one first? Okay. Meg don't want that. She you don't want that. Nobody in the industry wants that, maybe except for Remy. And I don't think her and Remy gonna go there no more. Cardi, you don't want it. And I gotta switch the subject up, but
No, you're good.
Yeah, you don't want that. That's not smoke that you want. You're not intellectual enough, you're not lyrical enough to ever get in a ring with the queen. And yes, I'm saying that Nicki Minaj is the queen of this, the greatest female rapper of all time. It just is what it is.
Thank you, Megan Thee Stallion, for opening up for waking up a sleeping monster, right? Because we give Nicki Minaj a lot of criticism for things, right? But there's never denying her lyrical expertise and the master class she puts on.
Yeah.
And Nick and Meg Thee Stallion, somebody that was dope, upcoming, rising, and doing her thing. She went at her husband and talked about Megan's Law. You look at Megan's Law. That's
I didn't hear that.
Yeah.
Dang.
Megan's Law. And that's why Nicki had to start coming with them punchlines.
With the foot joint.
And bringing out Nicki Minaj and doing what Nicki does. So I'm like, you know what?
Ooh.
I applaud it. I don't want drama by any stretch, but I do like when we see the monster come out of Nicki Minaj. And this is what I like.
I like the competitive spirit.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And she ain't out here trying to do drill. She ain't out here trying to sound like the South. Nicki got that East Coast sound that just makes you appreciate what she does, and I will always applaud her for her
never
music,
switched it either, yeah.
For her versatility in music. May not listen to every one of her albums because I'm not a woman and I don't relate to that level.
Right.
But there's no doubt that, oh my goodness, none of these females want any smoke with Nicki Minaj. Anyone that's being promoted. Now I'm sure there's some women in the gutter that got some bars.
Oh yeah. But
you know what I'm saying. But the ones that we see, they want nothing.
With that being said, would you say that Cash Money, Young Money was probably one of the greatest groups ever for hip hop? Because look, we talk about Nicki and you talk about Drake. Both of them made timeless, classical music, in my opinion. Both of them. Drake, you could put him on anywhere, a wedding, any type of anything, and it's not his music. Some of his music is not going to die. You're going to be able to listen to it 30 years from now. And it could be played anywhere, any type of race. Same with Nicki. She has songs like that. Not many artists you could say that about. What talking going back to Birdman, maybe he feels that like, yo, I gave you Nicki, I gave you Drake, I gave you Wayne, I gave you Juvie, I gave you all these different people. And I'm not getting the respect.
Now, if he said that, I'd agree 1,000%.
Yeah.
I'd say, and to answer your question, YMCMB to me is the equivalent to the Golden State Warriors. What I mean
Right.
by that is
Right.
they came out of nowhere. You know what I mean? In an era where we had different people doing their thing, you see the Golden State Warriors, you see Steph Clay, these shooters.
Right.
Who the fuck are these people? And all they did
Yeah.
was 4 chips. You know what I'm saying? And then make themselves known as one of the dynasties in basketball. When you look at Drake, when you look at Nicki, when you look at Wayne, when you look at Lloyd, when you look at they had so many other people in there doing their thing at the time, like you said, the crop of people that Birdman had come out before YMCMB. Love them or not, you gotta give them their credit. And
Right.
during that 2005 to 2015, man, they ran the fucking game.
Yeah.
They ran the game, and a lot of their music is a soundtrack to a lot of the stuff I was out here running around doing during that time too. So
Yeah.
they gotta give them their credit.
Yep, definitely, man. So, yeah, man, we love the South. I mean,
What?
but Birdman, he maybe it's a little bit more credit that he needs. I don't know who he's looking for to actually give him those accolades, but that list had came out. I don't know if you've seen it. Like top, I think Southern artists. I don't know if you've seen that list the other day. Somebody put a list out or whatever like that. I forget who was number 1 on the list or whatever, but. Yeah, that
Who made it? Who made the list? You know?
I don't even know.
Okay.
Some random motherfucker, but
Hopefully it was somebody from the South.
Hopefully.
You know what I'm saying? That could really go down there and appreciate who's down there doing their thing. Nobody from the East should have been doing that shit, but
Right.
know.
But they put it up on all the outlets started covering it.
Right.
So I thought it was pretty interesting. I was thinking if I could pull it up.
Yeah, I'm not mad at Birdman for what he said. I think that if he says the South isn't getting enough respect, I think that's crazy.
Right.
I really do.
Right.
Because I haven't heard nothing but respect come from the South since 2000.
Yeah, definitely.
You know what I'm saying? So
Definitely. This is a list here. I don't think this is the official one. Damn, why they start at 50? Hold up. I think they had Outkast number 1. Oh,
Which
Andre 3000 number 1.
I got a problem with that.
Then you got Scarface number 2. But yeah, go ahead.
I got a problem with that only because,
Andre 3000, come on, man.
and it's like that's an East Coast answer.
Right.
Duh.
Right.
How long have we been putting Andre 3000 in our top 5 list of all time? And I'm not saying he's an incredible artist, but does his body of work reflect that when you got so many other artists down there doing their thing? When I go and listen to the gym and I got South artists on, I got Yo Gotti on, I got
fuck
motherfucking
with Yo
Rick
Gotti.
Ross on,
Yeah.
I got T.I. on,
Yeah.
I got Jeezy on.
Yeah.
I got these Southern rappers that's down there really doing their thing
Yep.
and got a body of work. And I'm not saying any one of them are better than Andre 3 Stacks, but I want to hear some other names other than the prototypical Scarfaces. We know Scarface is a legend, Mount Rushmore in hip-hop, period. We know Andre 3000 is one of the top in the game. But that's so easy to say. Challenge me. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, matter of fact, here, go right here. All right, so yeah, Outkast. This is the official one. T.I., Future, Luda, Thug, Gucci Mane, 2 Chainz, Jeezy, Migos, Lil Jon. I don't know, man. I get Outkast. I guess you put Outkast up there, but T.I. number 2, huh?
I'm not mad at that.
It's a lot. I mean, either. There's a lot of names on here though,
Yeah.
and there's probably some people that didn't make the list as well. So yeah,
I'm not mad at T.I. at number 2.
nah, I rock with T.
I'll rock with T.I. too.
Yeah.
I don't know if he is number 2. You know what I'm saying? But I'm not mad at it from where we
I would have to look at the whole list and
Yeah.
you know what I mean. Really, like it'll take some time. Why do we do this though? Why do we gotta say who's this? Because sometimes you can't even make a list.
Yeah.
Sometimes there is no number 1 or number 2 or number 3. They could just be hot. Everybody can just be hot. You know what I mean?
It's our lust for competing against
Right.
one another.
Right.
Not against anybody else, one another.
Yeah.
Because I don't see a top grunge fucking rock artist group of all time and them worried about
Never see it.
who they
Never
were.
see it.
Green Day stunting on Nirvana or some shit. You don't see that type shit. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? It's only us. So
Yeah. We got a lot of work to do, man. But hey, man, definitely wanted to bring you guys this. We stressed out 2 topics for 30 minutes a day, but hopefully everybody enjoyed what we had to say today. With that being said, man, that's your brother Sandman. Viral Hip Hop News. I'm your brother. Oh God, Hip Hop News Uncensored, together with the Hip Hop Uncensored podcast. Over and out.
Peace.